People always think that when you make it to be a professional athlete that your life is made, but that isn't always the case. With young men who come from very poor backgrounds and limited financial education, it is easy for them to drain through their finances or get taken advantage of by others. These players had some great careers in the NBA, but unfortunately, life wasn't always good for them off the court. It's always easy to sit back and judge these players for what they did or didn't do, but at the end of the day, although we watch them on TV, they are people too. But before we jump into the NBA players who went broke or homeless while playing or after their career, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons and make sure to share the video if you enjoy it. Latrell Sprewell. By the late 90s, Latrell Sprewell's name had become synonymous with trouble. As a Knick, I loved him, but that was on the court. Because despite being a talented player, averaging over 18 points per game throughout his career and being named to 4 All-Star teams, he simply couldn't overcome his inner demons and constantly found himself in trouble throughout his time in the NBA. Things didn't improve when he left the league either. Shortly after his retirement in 2005, Sprewell found himself in legal trouble, beginning with the repossession of his yacht in 2007 as a result of over $1 million in unpaid bills. He then lost his home to foreclosure in 2008 after failing to make mortgage payments. During a practice in 1997 with the Golden State Warriors, Sprewell infamously choked his coach, PJ Carlesimo, in an instance of history repeating itself, and he was accused of strangling a woman nearly a decade later. Sprewell has a problem with necks, so as the Wu-Tang Clan have said many times, protect your neck. Next is Antoine Walker. Antoine Walker is a former first-round draft pick who played for the Boston Celtics and won a championship in 2006 with the Miami Heat. Walker is a 3-time All-Star who averaged 17.5 points and 7.7 rebounds per game throughout his plentiful career, which was from 1996 to 2008. Walker's legal troubles have been well documented, and he is regularly shown as an example of how professional athletes should not act. In 2009, while at the tail end of his career, he was arrested for driving under the influence and later charged with writing bad checks. It is believed that he racked up over $800,000 in gambling debts. 2010 was more of the same for Walker, as he was up on felony charges related to writing bad checks, and he narrowly avoided prison the following year by pleading guilty to similar charges. Walker had also filed for bankruptcy, and this despite making over $100 million throughout his career. Unfortunately, his life off the court overshadowed his play on the court. Walker was a very underrated player. In fact, I will never forget the back and forth he had with Kobe in 2002 in their game at the Staples Center. Epic 3-point winner. Allen Iverson. Former MVP and 11-time All-Star, the answer is one of the highest scoring basketball players of all time, averaging 26.7 points per game throughout his career. Since his retirement from the NBA in 2010, it's been widely reported that Iverson has had financial troubles as a result of his extravagant lifestyle. Stephen A. Smith claimed in 2010 that Iverson had been banned from several casinos and predicted that the former 76er would either drink himself into oblivion or gamble his life away. AI is so bad with his money that he apparently receives an annual salary of $1 million because he can't be trusted not to blow it all. Dante West. At just 32 years of age, Dante West, who was drafted in the first round out of St. Joseph's and played for the Boston Celtics, the Seattle Supersonics, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Dallas Mavericks, has already hit rock bottom. West was recently all over the news after photos appeared online supposedly showing him begging for money on the streets. It is believed by some that he has become homeless and is suffering from schizophrenia. West, however, denies the rumors and says that he was merely helping a homeless man. This isn't the first time that West has made news for his behavior. In 2009, he was arrested after he was pulled over and found to be carrying several guns, including a shotgun in a guitar case. He also claims that his reputation in the NBA was unfairly smeared by rumors that he had had an affair with LeBron James's mother. Oh mama, what a rumor. No pun intended. Eric Williams. Eric Williams played in the NBA from 1995 to 2007. His best year came during the 1996-97 season, when he put up 15 points per game at forward for the Boston Celtics. Despite reportedly going broke and homeless after making $40 million in his career, The worst thing that happened to Williams after leaving the NBA was appearing on the reality show Basketball Wives Miami. He made a fool of himself on this show by getting in an argument with his ex-wife, Jennifer Williams, and throwing a drink in her face. He didn't exactly make friends with the other wives on the show either, as Tammy Roman, ex-wife of former NBA player Kenny Anderson, commenting on the news that Williams was broken homeless, added insult to injury by saying, "God doesn't like ugly." Shawn Kemp. Shawn Kemp is a legend in Seattle, having helped lead the Supersonics to their first NBA title appearances in nearly 2 decades. He made the All-Star team every year for 6 seasons, and averaged over 18 points and 10 rebounds per game from 1992 to 1999. Due to weight issues and drug and alcohol problems, he quickly declined after the 2000 season and was forced to enter rehab his first year with the Portland Trail Blazers. His decline continued after his career was over until he finally hit rock bottom in 2005, when he was arrested in Washington in relation to a drug possession investigation. Kemp pled guilty to drug possession after he and another person were discovered to have 2 kilos of cocaine and 60 grams of marijuana between them, which sounds like a Tuesday night for a young Dennis Rodman. Apparently not learning anything from the incident, Kemp was again arrested the following year for misdemeanor marijuana possession. Speaking of the worm Dennis Rodman, Rodman was one of the best players in the NBA. Along with Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, Rodman was a part of the incredible Chicago Bulls team that won 5 championships between 1989 and 1998. He was named an All-Star and the Defensive Player of the Year twice, and led the league in rebounds 7 times. His 13.1 rebounds per game stands as the 10th best of all time. Life hasn't been easy for Rodman post-NBA, however. Following a slew of bizarre publicity stunts and a number of drunk driving arrests that began in the late 90s, Rodman finally checked himself into rehab in 2008. Unfortunately, the treatment didn't work, as he would go on to continue to abuse alcohol until he hit rock bottom in 2014, when he traveled to North Korea to visit dictator Kim Jong-un. As insane as it sounds, being best friends forever with a ruthless dictator may have its advantages, as Dennis Rodman may have saved us all from war. Check out some of these videos.